All right, let's get right into part two here. This is the next page over from where we ended up on the Michigan and Ohio exhibits, I believe it was. So here you got one of the boats, the emergency crew, evidently. You see the gentleman on there, and appears to be a pretty primitive looking boat. Fire Department or FD Millet. I don't know if that stands for fire department or what, but as you can see, the gentleman there, the boat. Windmills in the background, maybe a Dutch exhibit, but it looks like shoot, yeah, it's all over the place today. There's a big ship, obviously, right to the right of their ship, and I wonder to myself if that's. They claim to have had the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria in the bay with all the exhibits at the Columbian Exposition in Chicago. So I don't know if the book goes into that part or not, but that's what they say. They had they say they recreated the ships. A lot of people say that they were the original ones. A lot of people say that Christopher Columbus never even came over here. So this is wild. That's the infrastructure of the inside of the manufacturer's building. That's enormous. That is enormous. Wow. And you have a lit up structure there at the top. Obviously, that's all lights, light bulbs. And if anybody wasn't aware, the light bulb was intended to last literally pretty much forever. There's a fire department somewhere in New York or Philadelphia, Boston, and they've had the same light bulb on for something like 150 years. And there was a meeting at some point in the early 1910s. I want to say it was around 1912, where the rich, magnates and business owners decided that things ought to be built to fail, and otherwise they might go out of business, or they're just not producing enough, and they're not making the kind of money they want to make. So that's how it went. I don't know what is going on with my phone, but it is flaking out. Keeps trying to do all these options I don't even know how to access on purpose while I'm just trying to simply zoom. The burning of the cold storage warehouse. Obviously, that is an extremely different type of building than what we're seeing here. I'm going to come over here. So that is a superficial building. It looks like it's made out of stucco, maybe even plaster of Paris, as some of them. Obviously, there were buildings that were temporary there. And I think that's what they keep using as the excuse of, oh, they were all temporary. They were not. This is the movable sidewalk that was at the end of the bay. And people could just, you're taking rides on it. It was like a conveyor belt for people. And it would just move you around. And as you can see, it's over there on the coast. Not the best picture of it, but as you can see, there's like just kind of parts of things everywhere. I don't know if this is... Can't really honestly tell you if they're building it at the time or what's going on here. The earlier stages of construction in Jackson Park is what it says. So, yeah. That looks like they're actually building the conveyor system right then and there. Next page. Okay. So we have some statues again. These ones making the angels. Okay. I gotta be honest. Compared to these, look like they're being made on site, and this would be plaster. However, as you can see, plain as day, there's nowhere near the detail and the intricate detail in these statues as there is with the ones that are on the buildings. Let's go over here. This is... Oh man, here we go again with this strange terminologies, if you will. Here's the eastern portal of Machinery Hall. Very interesting choice of words once again. This is the second building being referred to as a portal. Maybe not so ironically, all the stuff going on at the Vatican and St. Peter's Basilica and everything else has been strangely referred to as opening portals instead of doors. I've always just known them as doors. Those are doors, I've never thought of a door as a portal until I saw the gigantic golden door previously in this book, anyway. Or I look at a door like CERN or Gothard or anything over there in Switzerland. It's portalish, maybe. Alrighty, so this is Palace of Mechanical Arts. And as you can see, the fine detail of the real statues. And then you have the spires as well, which a lot of people will say are negative and positive terminals for a far superior perpetual power system that we do not even understand. Okay, looks like a possible Dionysus type of thing maybe in the middle there, but that would be pagan. I believe this is all kind of closer to heavenly than anything else. I would say this is not pagan. I see the things the pagan make. They're very primitive. Very, very primitive. I don't exactly know what's going on there, but that's as far as I can zoom in. But that's a pretty cool, gigantic old building there. Let's flip this back around. So this is going to be in half an hour increments. That's right around the amount of data my phone can take at a time, or however it goes. I don't really understand all that stuff. I'm just filming. This is the interior of the horticultural dome. So, as you can see, there are horticultural things going on inside, as there should be. It's a gigantic greenhouse. That's pretty fascinating. You've got palm trees. You've got wow, quite the elaborate setup. If colors could tell the tale, I'm sure it would be even more fascinating. But in this case, wasn't an option. All right. The details of the horticultural dome. So this is the outside of the building that we're just looking at on the inside there. Yeah. Okay. That is a beautiful building. Once again, gigantic elaborate domes. The size of those flags must be just absolutely gigantic. More elaborate buildings. I mean, just the details, people. I mean, I don't understand. I just don't understand. And once again, you can take a boat right up to the stairs. You park your boat right there, get on off. Got a little shack of some sort right there, probably to buy tickets to get into the horticultural hall, or I don't know. I don't know. I can only guess. You can see the people with their nice suits and their umbrellas and enjoying the scenery there. I would be too. I still do not know what is going on with the zoom. Every time I do the zoom, it's wanting to do a reverse. Alrighty. The Columbian Guard. I guess we'll focus on this briefly. That doesn't look overly fantastical to me here, but got some old-timey gentlemen and truthfully details. Columbian Guard. What would the Columbian Guard even be? Columbian Guard was commanded by Colonel Edmund Rice of the United States Army under orders from Architect Burnham, the Director of Works and Practical Executive of the local directors and trustees, as contradistinguished from the titular National Commission. In great crowds, the Columbian Guards, through lack of the city policeman's bulk and experience, were of no avail, yet as the summer wore on and the good nature of the American people triumphed, even the young marionettes became genial and at last popular. Okay. I don't even know what to make of that. Sounds like they were there for show. The Chinese display. The Joss House. The displays of the different parts of the world are extremely primitive, and I'm not going to focus on them because that is not what anybody wants to see here. The ruins of Uxmal, probably the most remarkable ruins in the world, in Central America, perhaps principally in Yucatan, often buried under the luxuriant growth of the tropical forests. Wow. So I guess they're claiming to have dug this up, and I don't know if they're saying they rebuilt it in Chicago or what, but I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know if maybe anybody could read that text or not just by pausing it, but feel free. I don't have enough time to do it. And then here's more primitive stuff. You get the hunter's cabin. So I don't know. I feel like somebody was really trying really hard to tell their version of the story, the history of the United States. Is what these fairs strike me as. I don't know how else to look at it. The Viking ships. So this is allegedly what Leif Erikson and Eric the Red and all of the explorers would have discovered Greenland and other parts of North America in. I'm actually technically if all the ancestry stuff is correct, I'm a direct descendant of Leif Erikson and Eric the Red. Eric the Red was Leif Erikson's father, so obviously I'd be related to both. But I don't know the real true story to any of that stuff, or Columbus or anything else. I don't believe a whole lot these days. Ontario, in the horticultural building. I've spent quite a bit of time in Windsor, Ontario. I don't see anything too remarkable there. Here's Connecticut. So I imagine we'll probably have one for every state. But as you can see, it's like pickled things and canned things and almond sculptures. And so here's one from the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma's pavilion in the agricultural building. Pardon me, I'm trying to read it sideways here. So that's just a bunch of stuff. Canned stuff. Yeah. We can see that every day. You're kidding me now. You're seeing this with your own eyes. Read what it says. I'm confused here a little bit. East portal of the administration building. So evidently portals were a major thing in the late 1800s. Portals were known. Must have been a common word. I don't know what else to say about it. The spectacle presented in this engraving. Other scenes might have been neglected. Here the music was rarely silent. The fountains unfurled their waters, long pennons of crystal and airy clouds of mist. It looks pretty magnificent. Yeah, you got a cross at the top of the flag there. I haven't seen many crosses. Let's try to see what it says up here. Look at these buildings, and these statues are just insane. Okay. I don't know if I can even read that. Columbus sailed from Palos with 3 small vessels August 3rd and landed on one of the Bahama Islands, October 12th, 42, 870, whatever it was. That's what it says, something along those lines. So once again, I'm trying to zoom out and it's zooming in. Wow. So you got like a Neptune kind of thing going on there on that side. Once again, technology is doing exactly the opposite of what I want it to do. That's my history with technology, by the way, folks. I'm so absolutely technologically inept that everything I try to do with technology, it literally does the opposite of what I want to do. That's my whole life involving technology. I'm a firm believer of let's go back to analog. I like knobs and buttons that actually work, not these fake ones that fake it. Statues of Machinery Hall. It looks like we have another Dionysus. So these might be the ones that were on top of the building, which this is odd that they have them all separate. So this also kind of is an indicator, as you can see, like the Statue of Liberty there with the 7. So that's, I can't remember what deity, pagan deity, uses the 7 pointed helmet or whatever it is. The Statue of Liberty has the same symbolism, by the way, which many people believe that the Statue of Liberty is actually Lucifer. This is Machinery Hall. Another gigantic, fascinating, enormous building. Got the obelisk in the front. Gigantic, enormous, curved metal archways of iron. Gigantic, elaborate statues. Looks like a bowl or something along those lines. Look at this. I mean, the obelisk is even decorated all along the sides of it. A woman or somebody at the top there looking down. All the statues on top. Those are the ones we just looked at, I believe, up close. Phoenix. Everybody thinks that it's the eagle involved in all the... everybody thinks it's the eagle in all the American stuff. It's not. It's a phoenix. That is a phoenix rising from the ashes. It is not an eagle. That's a myth. Look at all those pillars. Look at the people. Look at the people. So I don't know about you, but I see what looks like obviously what is going on in California right now is a controlled weapon of some sort, a controlled energy weapon. The stories of the people running from these towns, these cities in the late 1800s and early 1900s, the tales those people told in their diaries, they were running. Their pocket watches, their gold, their things of value, the cars or whatever vehicles they were in, the metallic pieces that they had were catching fire within their pockets and burning their clothes. They had to throw pocket watches, gold. I don't know if it was gold, but people were saying that metallic things, devices, anything of certain certain elements were just literally getting hot. Now that sounds like biblical fervent heat to me. So I wonder to myself, where did all these buildings go? Controlled energy weapons. I don't think the past is as primitive as we think it is. The Statue of California. Okay. Yeah. I've seen enough of California the last few years. The California building. And that looks like a stucco structure that is built to fail. And as you can see, the people are tiny. Or I'm sorry, they are not as tiny as they are compared to the other buildings. That looks like a California facade building, like the ones that they still continue to make to this day. That is not a fascinating structure. That is a structure that is temporary. Okay. Esquimau village, more primitive villagers with whips and things that they're trying to tell the tale of Eskimo. Eskimos? That must be how you used to spell Eskimo. Interesting. The ostriches. Alrighty. Well, these ostriches. We can go to the zoo and see them anytime we want to. You know what? I'm going to go over here real quick first. The German castle. That looks like another temporary structure. Bavarian. But that does not look like something that would last a whole long time. Now here we go. The Court of Honor. Now this is the bay. Now you have the Statue of the Republic way over there in the distance that we saw earlier. And then the Arc de Triomphe is directly behind it. So over here is the boat statue that we saw earlier as well. From, you know, I'm assuming we're looking east and west now, but I don't know for sure. So the Court of Honor. So this is the whole shebang from obviously on one of the taller buildings in the distance. But that's the main bay. You have the two bridges that you can go north and south through. If my orientation is correct here, and it's just beyond magnificent. This is downtown Chicago. Downtown Chicago. It's a photograph. This is not a lithograph. This is not a drawing. It's a photograph. I mean, just the flag. Look how big the flags are. The American flags are compared to the people. That's bonkers. And then the ships, you know, the boats just taking people right from one exhibit to another. Right, front row parking there, delivering people. Here we go again. Okay, the Austrian portal. So evidently, the portal over there in Austria, they rebuilt in Chicago. I'd have to assume that is what this is implying. Another portal, by the way. An angel with a trumpet. And then the superficial coat of arms. That's one thing I notice about all these exhibits too in buildings. They all seem to have a superficial coat of arms that either incorporates a phoenix or a Columbian flag or something else that just doesn't quite fit. But those are angels with trumpets. What do we got here in the front there? And what's in the front of the portal? Is that Atlas? Atlas holding up the whole world? Well, got a couple slave men holding up the building with their backs. Here is the bird's eye view of the Austrian section. So that's the other side of the portal, their words, and all of their fineries, I'm assuming from the region. Okay, the Southern Colonnade. So this, I'm assuming, is this must be the opposite side of the bay, or the bay from where the Statue of the Republic is. So this is probably, I'm assuming, right by where the boat fountain is, but I don't know. I could be wrong. This could be on the sides. So intramural station, possibly. Let's see what's up at the top here. Whoa. How about that? So you got chariot and looks like a couple of bowls. So I don't know what to make of that, really. You got a British flag over there. Okay, flags of the other countries. But once again, very elaborate architecture. Statue of the French Republic over there on the other side, I see. Let's check that out. It's a Victorian building. This one looks built to last a while, but maybe not forever like some of the other ones. This is a French Republic statue here. Okay. Let's see. I wonder what it says there on the... I wish I could read that better. I don't know if anybody knows Greek or anything, but if you can make some sense of that. But this is a statue of the French Republic. The French who gifted us the Statue of Liberty. And intended to be a 100th year anniversary gift of 1776. But they were late on delivering it, I believe, by about 9 years or something like that. I don't recall the exact dates, but this is the Albert Memorial. I'm not really sure what that is. More weird statues. That is a bull or a bison. German building. I think we saw this one already. But, more Bavarian architecture, obviously very fitting of the region. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so this right here. Now this statue strikes me as wait a minute, they're on top of a building under the administration dome. So they're at the base of the dome in the administration building. This is bonkers. You see how small? Look how small the Ferris wheel is in the background. That's crazy. More angels with trumpets. And see part of the dome there. More angels with trumpets, as you can see there. Cherubs, or whatever you'd call them. And I imagine that was just quite the view. Quite the view. I don't even know how you feel anything, but I don't know. This is so fascinating to me. My jaw be on the floor. Now you have the city at night. It's all lit up. The Columbian illuminations. All along the shoreline. Tops of the buildings, all the domes are lit. Statues, you got light poles at the top of the building, like right by where those gentlemen are standing and pointing. Those are the light poles, right there between the two statues. They were way up there. And about 3 minutes left. I don't really want to push it any further than that, but made more progress today than in the past videos. So this is a bit odd. This is across the Grand Plaza northward. Okay, so it looks like the agricultural building or something over there to the right. There's that obelisk again with the elaborate kind of wing designs to it. Strikes me as, I don't know, Asian. Another fascinatingly enormous building. Not quite to the scale as the others, but that is one gigantic flag. But as you can see, oddly, actually, I was going to say that the streets look like they were dirt, but I just got a glimpse of it. I can't tell. You know what? I think they are dirt. I think they are dirt. And you have, picnic tables set up against the posts there. Some sort of benches against that light pole. And, yeah, I think it's dirt over there. Dirt roads. That seems off compared to everything else. And, once again, so this is the view from behind the statue. The peristyle. So this is the end of the base.